Okay, Black Boxing. Coming to you with a quick video. The date is April 4th, 2018. The time is 5:37 a.m. Central Standard Time. And the temperature, as you can see, is 32 degrees. Where is spring? It's in hiding. But anyway, shout out to the whole LDBC. And shout out to the Smoke City Mobcast as well. We are there every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, discussing everything that's happening in boxing. We will be there tonight. Well, let's talk about who is more popular between Joshua and Wilder. You know, we can just look at their last two fights. You can look at the Joshua last two fights, which is Carlos Takam and his recent fight with Joseph Parker. And we can also look at Deontay Wilder's last fights with Stavern as well as Ortiz. Now, and the reason why I'm even bringing up numbers, because people like to bring up numbers, and they continue to say that, oh, I mean, he's filling up 70,000, 80,000, 90,000 people in the stadiums over there, so he is accordingly, of course, he's more popular. But does the numbers really reflect it? Since they always say Deontay Wilder can't fill up stadiums, only putting 6,000, that's, 80 germs said, right? But let's look at the numbers then. You know what I mean? Let's look at the numbers. Since people love to always talk about numbers, whether it's numbers for as how many people can be put in the seat, or even they always talking about how much money these guys are making. But anyway, let's talk about the numbers. Let's talk about the important numbers, since people don't like to talk about these numbers. See, it's easy to talk about the purse that they're making, and it's easy to talk about how many people can fit in the stadium and all of that. But let's talk about these numbers. Well, Anthony Joshua versus Carlos Takam. The initial showing was 334,000. The replay was 309,000. Now, if you put those numbers together for Joshua and Takam, that's 643,000. Okay, let's go to Joshua and Parker. We talked about this yesterday, but we're going to talk about it again. Joshua and Parker. We're going to talk about the peak numbers now. We're not going to talk about the average. We're going to talk about the peak numbers for Joshua and Parker. The initial showing was 379,000. When they replayed it, it was 483,000. If you add those numbers together, because it's going to be fair to Joshua, right? We're going to add those numbers together, and that's 862,000. Well, now let's go to Wilder's last two fights against Marion Stavern. That was average. That peak was 887,000. Okay, there's no replay for Wilder, so they don't. They just saying this is how much it averages on one showing. And we can go to Wilder Ortiz, and that peaked at 1.2 million. Now, I'm not the brightest. I would never claim to be. And I went to school for criminal justice, so math is not my major, right? But it's clear as day that 887,000 is more than 643,000, and 1.2 million is more than 862,000. Come on now. And don't try to use that, well, Deontay Wilder, he is American. Nah. See, y'all said Joshua is more popular. And since he fill out the stadiums and have all this money, that he's more popular than Wilder, right? Well, the numbers don't lie, people. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the numbers don't lie. And I was listening to my brother Blood, and he even made a good point in his last video, when he said that just like the guys in the UK know who Anthony Joshua is, they know the person that he's afraid of. They know him as well, which is Deontay Wilder. It's true. I can guarantee you, they can walk around and know who the hell Deontay Wilder is. They know who the other person who the other champion is. They know that. If Joshua was over here, they wouldn't know who the hell Joshua is, man. But I guarantee you, if Wilder go over there, they know who Wilder is. So not only locally, not only domestic, but foreign as well. Yes, Deontay Wilder is known more, okay? It's just the facts. And not only that, Joshua, his biggest benefit is he don't have too many competing sports. The major sports over there is soccer, or football as they call it over there, and boxing. And I'm pretty sure their soccer stadiums are filled out the same. You know, so it's no knock on Joshua that he can sell, and he got a big backing and a big following over there, but let's call it spade a spade. Yes, 70 and 80 and 90,000 is phenomenal. But over in the States, if a boxing event reached 10,000 or 15 or 20,000, that's a success. It's not too many events over here in the States that is going to generate 70, 80, 90,000 people going to a stadium and watching the event. So kudos for Joshua for even able to get those many people to come see him. But let's call it spade a spade. Boxing is not a major sport over here. The 4 major sports over here is football. No, not the soccer. I'm talking the real actual football, which is the NFL. Basketball, which is the NBA. Baseball, which is MLB. And hockey, which is the NHL. And don't add PGA, which is golf, and the tennis, and the soccer over here, and MMA, and many other sports, and boxing. So we're operating over here. Boxing is not even a major sport. Over there in the UK, boxing is one of its major, if not the most major sport. So come on, man. We just gotta call it spade a spade. So quit talking about who's more popular. Because like I said, men lie. Women lie. But the numbers don't. So it's bigger than that anyway, man. We just want to see Undisputed. One guy, you got one guy in Deontay Wilder who's doing all the call-outs. And not only that, look at the last 2 performances too. Takam and Joshua, and Takam and Parker and Joshua. You see, was y'all enthused? Was y'all really excited by those fights? Come on, man. Takam was stopped prematurely. That fight was going a distance. Did Joshua really look excited in the fight? Look at the Parker and Joshua fight. One of the most horrible fights I've ever seen. Trash ass fight. But look at Wilder's last 2 fights. Complete destruction. Complete destruction of Stavern. First round. The brother didn't even make out the first round. And Ortiz was a back and forth, compelling fight that he was able to come back and weather the storm and knock him out too. Every guy this man has faced has been knocked out. So come on, man. Not only do he sell more, not only are more people are watching him, but he's more excited as well. And he's known over in your country as well. Man, let's call a spade a spade. Josh was 6'6", 250. If he wasn't over there, man, if he played over here, even with Deontay Wilder, he himself said he was in college, and his daughter, you already know what happened with his daughter. She was illness, so he basically dropped out of college, started working, and he picked up boxing so he can be financially stable, able to take care of his daughter, which is commendable, man. Very, very commendable, But other than that, we could literally be saying Joshua in the NBA, or not Joshua, I'm sorry. We could easily be saying Deontay Wilder in the NBA, okay? He definitely like a basketball player, 6'7". He's definitely a small forward and on someone's team. Joshua, if he was over here, honestly, he probably wouldn't be fucking boxing. That's a fucking tight end, 6'6", 250. That's a tight end all day in the NFL. You know? So a lot of our athletes are playing basketball and football, and they could definitely be boxing, you know? So I just want to come in here and just tell you all, man, you know, they just dispel the myth that who is more popular. Alrighty? The numbers don't lie, man. This K Black Boxing. Like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to the LDBC, man. And prepare at 9 p.m. each standard time to watch the Smoke City Mobcast.